tax reform. It is onerous. It is almost a system of bullying, and it is a system that we should not put up with. This system needs reform. Regarding the flat tax versus the fair tax, I'm looking at both of them. I would tend to be more toward the flat tax. That has more interest to me. I'm open to looking at both of them, though. I do know we need tax reform. If we had to, if you say there's no wiggle room, which I didn't get that part of the question, I would tend more toward the flat tax. But I would really want to look at both of them. I don't want to do something like Nancy Pelosi suggests and say, oh, just pass the bill, we'll see what's in it later. You know, that's the kind of advice she gives. But I would really want to study these and come up with some type of reform because we are taxed enough already.
So you would lean towards the flat tax? Is that what you said?
I wouldn't endorse either one yet, but okay. I would tend more toward that one.
Yes.
Because it just seems a little more appealing than, anything's more appealing than we have now. But I would say that would be the one I would look at the hardest right now.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Bland. Mr. Smith.
The flat tax is a flat tax on your income. The fair tax is a consumption tax. I support both. I think that if you take a 10% flat tax, couple it with a 2% national sales tax, and try to pay our debt down. And once we've accomplished paying our debt down, we can lower the flat tax and kind of adjust everything, kind of keep everything at 12%, lower your flat tax to say, 5% and raise your fair tax. And eventually, once we get our debt, because let's be honest, people, we're broke, and we've got to pay our debts off. Otherwise, our children, I've got small children, they're not going to have a future in this country. And our progressive tax system, the way it is now, is awful. It rewards mediocrity and punishes success. So I support a combination of both, the flat tax and the fair tax.
Okay. Mr. James.
Thank you. I clearly support the fair tax. I agree with all the panel members here candidates, that our current income tax, or our current tax system is broken. It's got estimated 60 to 80,000 pages with 20 volumes. The tax code is bloated, and it's been attempted to have been reformed many times, and it's failed. It's a tool for special interest groups to have special carve-outs for them, and that's one of the reasons why I don't think the flat tax is the answer either, because it pretty much leaves the system in place, even though it's a 14 or 15 or 17% flat tax. I think that we need to address it with there's current legislation, HR 25, which is the fair tax. It's a consumption tax. It's transparent. It eliminates income taxes, the death tax, all payroll taxes, and it taxes what we take versus what we make. And it doesn't tax labor, and it doesn't tax capital. This is, to me, a stimulus package wrapped in a fair and transparent tax code. And repealing the 16th Amendment is a necessity. The reason the 16th Amendment exists, period, is so that they can have an income tax that imposes a tax on Americans that's not equally, that we all don't pay an equal amount. It's the way they got around it. The first time they tried to pass the income tax, it was overturned in the courts because it was unconstitutional, i.e. the need for the 16th Amendment. So I think that if we're talking real tax reform and we want an economy that grows based off of investment in capital, the fair tax is the tax plan that we need to address, and that's what I support. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. James. Next question is for the venture surrogate. You have run attack ads against one of your own primary opponents. In it, your campaign alleges that the opponent contributed to the lone Democrat running for the same seat. How many candidates for any office anywhere have you contributed to in the past 10 years?
I have not.
You have not?
I have not.
You haven't contributed to